Well, hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to my little gardening show. This afternoon, I wanted to just show you what I'm doing as far as seed saving. You know, I like getting the seed catalogs in. They usually start coming in late fall, winter, around December. And it's fun to look through and try new varieties, but you know, the seeds they're getting more and more expensive depending on where you buy from, as the demand for them, you know, continues to rise as more and more people are realizing the value of growing their own food. So one of the things you can do, and that I'm starting to do and have done in the past to some degree, is you can save seeds from your open pollinated varieties. You know, the ones that are typically heirlooms. You know, they're not. You can try to save seeds from your hybrids, but there's no guarantee you're going to get the same result. And a lot of that in the seed catalogs, you know, when you're ordering seeds, it'll be designated as like a open pollinated or heirloom, or like an F1 cross, typically is what you see. And so anyway, you can try to save seeds from those, but you're not going to necessarily get a reliable product, or you know, the same kind of plant. You know, those, especially the newer hybrids, are going to tend to favor one parent or the other if you know you're saving seeds from them. Whereas the heirloom stuff that's been designated heirloom or open pollinated varieties that are stable, you're going to pretty much get what you planted originally, you know, providing that they didn't cross-pollinate or something with, you know, another variety that you had planted close by. So anyway, I've got, I'm kind of not showing you a whole lot of steps with this, but it's really not that difficult. There's basically two methods of seed saving. There's the dry method and the wet method. For the peppers, I use a dry method, and what that simply is you know, you harvest the seeds from the pepper by just cutting around and cutting the middle out. That's usually attached to the stem, and you can let it dry and just dry out, or you can rake the seeds off of the core and let them dry. And so that's typically what, you know, I do with the peppers. The tomatoes, I use the wet method, and what that is you just cut your tomato in quarters, or, you know, your melon or your cucumber into quarters, you know, to expose the seeds, and you rake out the little seed pack, little jelly contents and whatnot. Hey, dog, you need to go outside? Let's go outside. So anyway, with the wet method, you rake that stuff out into like a jar. You squeeze the juice, you know, get some of the juice in with it, and then you let that sit for a couple days until there's a mold scum on the surface of that liquid that has the seeds in it and all that. And then you rinse it out. You basically fill the jar with water and just kind of drain off the mold scum. You drain off all the gunk. You just keep repeating that process until finally, you know, your seeds, anything that's alive, is going to drop to the bottom. Everything, the pulp and the stuff that you don't want, is going to rise to the top, and you can drain it off. After they're drained off, you know, you wash the seeds real good. I usually use a colander, put them on a paper towel to dry them somewhat, and then put them on my plates. So what you're seeing here is kind of the end result of those two methods. You know, with the peppers, the dry method, where it basically just didn't do much cleaning of the seeds, just kind of raked them out onto the paper plates and just let them dry. And then the tomatoes, after going through that process I just described, laying them out on the plates and letting them dry. I let them dry for about 2 weeks. And I had them on top of these cabinets here, lying on the top, so the kids don't get into them, so they don't get knocked over. And so now while the kids are entertained and, you know, away and whatnot, we're going to put these up. So now, to store them, what I've got is just, you know, some #1 coin envelopes. Wrote up with Sharpie, you know, what it is I'm saving, or hopefully what I think I'm saving. Fill the envelope. Make sure, you know, squeeze the air out, seal it. And then the next step is to put them in the refrigerator. I've got a Ziploc bag. Let's see here if I can find it. A Ziploc freezer bag with a little bit of kitty litter in the bottom to help keep things dry with my seed varieties that I've already saved. And I've got that at the back of the fridge there. I'm refrigerating them because, you know, talking to other YouTube gardeners and just doing a little research, you store them in cool temperatures like that, and it's going to slow down the metabolism of the seeds, and the seeds are going to last longer. They're going to be more viable. There are people that claim that, you know, the seeds can remain viable for up to 50 years if kept in, you know, some sort of refrigeration. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, that'd be a really like long-term experiment to try if you're a home gardener. Who knows? Maybe I'll try it, but. Anyway, that's why I'm refrigerating them, to slow down the metabolism of the seeds, because these are, even though they're somewhat dormant, they're alive, and they're using up the energy. You know, the seed itself is using up the energy inside that's in there to help it grow to stay alive. So you slow down the metabolism, and you're going to extend their life. As far as telling what's good seed, what's bad seed, you know, with all these, you know, if you put them in water, they should sink to the bottom. If they rise to the top, they're dead. You know, and basically things have started to break down. There's gas inside the seed itself. That's what causes it to rise, you know, as it's breaking down. So, again, if they're alive, they'll sink to the bottom. That's a good way of telling whether or not they're viable. But anyway, we've had them drying for a couple weeks now. We got them all on the plates, and these are like the next step up from like the cheapy plates. They've got kind of a wax coating, so it's not like the, you know, the liquid is going to seep into the plate itself. Though it's not really going to matter, I guess. The key thing is just making sure they're dry before you store them. Put them in the envelopes. Again, we'll refrigerate them. So I've got different varieties here. A couple of tomatoes here, my black brandywine, that was a favorite this year. Several different types of peppers, cayenne. This Bengals pepper mix is like a snack pepper. My red Marconis, sweet chocolate, jalapeno. So we're going to put those away, and then, you know, as other stuff starts coming in the garden, we're going to save that as well. So, you know, you figure seed company, nothing against seed companies. Again, I like ordering, you know, and going through the catalog and stuff like that. But typically you're going to pay, you know, $2 to $3 a packet, and, you know, maybe only get 25 to 50 seeds, you know, and some less than that. Whereas you save your, you know, from one tomato, you're getting a fairly decent amount of seeds. You know, this one, a whole bunch. There's probably over 100 there. The other advantage too with saving your own seeds is that over time the varieties that you're saving become more, they adapt to your environment. They're kind of tailorized to your environment and growing conditions, and so ultimately you're going to end up with a better crop the following year, you know, providing you're picking your best produce to save seeds from. So anyway, hopefully you found that informative and helpful and whatnot. Hope things are going well for you guys, and until next time, happy gardening. Bye.